And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that break. I hope you enjoyed that brutal OST, because we have returned with the grand finals of the Christmas Cup. Oh, I should... we have returned with the grand finals of the Christmas Cup. It all ends here. It all ends in this final best of 7. We had hundreds of players as a part of this event, and now we are down to only 2. Only 2 do remain. Hold on, I'm just fixing the in-game name. There we go, the finals. Oh, we are here. I should also change the Twitch title as well. Un momento. As we are diving on in and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Goldenrod, we have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Wayne. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on how you think this series will unfold. It's a best of 7. A lot of games are before us. Vetoes were done. Lobbies have been made. Good luck. Good luck with those predictions, as this could go either way. As we start off with a proxy hatch. Let's go. The hatch block is here. Boys are being pulled, forcing a lot of lost mine time. This is not aggressive. This is not all in. This is just designed to disrupt the economy, and we are disrupting the economy. Ah, let's go. Behind this, Wayne going for a hatch into gas into pool, so a delayed spawning pool. SKillous does confirm. He knows that there's no rush coming, and we do cancel just in time. We morph in the Evo chamber. We delay even further. Quick moves there out of Wayne. Trying to keep this expansion as delayed as possible, as we should force cancel. Oh god, do cancel just in time. Whew. And Wayne once again doubling back in, going to try and delay even further here with this drone being as annoying as possible. As SKillous can go back to mining. And you can see here the economy deep in the red, deep in favor of Wayne, thanks to, of course, that proxy hatch, or the hatch block, I should say. Drone does go down, unfortunately. Wasn't able to get into the main base, wasn't able to gas steal. And we're getting into our openers. We're going to be settling back into this, into game 1. And what a way to start it off. Again, Wayne, who was just disrupting the opener, being like, yeah, how do you like it? How do you like having your natural base delayed like this, huh? Este Protoss. As Wayne was able to take his own natural base, get it up and running. Third is on the way. Link speed as well. We do pull out of gas just for link speed, and we're going to be just focusing on droning and producing queens. We're going to be settling into Goldenrod. Talking a little bit about the map. The map itself is quite short, very short rushes by ground. You can be quite aggressive as well as a result. Things like Twilight Council opener would not be too surprising, but we can see that SKillous, as he gets into main, gets 1 drone kill and is soon not going to get a second. But we do have I was going to say a Spire, a Stargate on the way. As you know, say shade into the natural. I wonder, was SKillous watching, by the way? Did he see Night Phoenix have his way with Wayne when it came to a depth harass? Because once again, 3 drones go down. Pretty good damage dealt here by SKillous. Good damage. Once again, we do threaten another shade. It's going to be a Void Ray opener. Oh my, okay, I'm curious. I am very curious, actually, if SKillous was watching. I know that he said before that he likes us. Wonder if he was lunking in the chat or not. As the Void Ray is going to be coming out, shutting down this Overlord, and we'll be hiding the follow-up. And what will the follow-up be? This could just be a double Stargate Void Ray. Could be Glaive Adepts, could be a charge all-in, or it could be a third base with Oracles behind it. There we go. Oracle is on the way. Void Ray going to be shutting down this Overlord, and Wayne is going to be in the dark. He will have no idea what exactly comes out next here for SKillous. Back at home, going to be joining, saturating bases. Lings are going to be moving out. The goal here is to delay the third base for as long as we can, and the third is soon to be taken. Lings are on the way, though. They're on the hunt. They want that third. Void Ray going to be coming in. Lings, likewise, will be slipping in from behind. And they do get eyes on the Nexus, and they should be forcing a cancel. Yeah, we get a surround. We have too much DPS. A Void Ray cannot stop it, and the base will be cancelled. Behind this, though, I'd say Shaden again. We get 2 drones. We get 3. 3 workers do go down. Not bad here. Good counter damage done by SKillous. At the same time, Oracle going to be coming in towards that third base. 4 is done. But we get a drone nonetheless. Meanwhile, we make another wave of Lings. Once again, we're looking for another cancel. No tech. standard follow-up. Okay, despite the void ray opening, we do have an opening into the natural. The wall is not a wall. The Lings, they flood into the main base. They flood into the natural as well. And we get eyes on the follow-up on the Twilight Council and the Forge. Big scout there from Wayne. He will be cleaned up, but he gets 5 probe kills to make up for the Adept harass earlier. Looking at the Unisol stat here, 5 workers went down for 8 drones. Good counter damage. And again, we confirm that there's nothing crazy going on. There's no Glaive Adepts. There's no big kind of all-in coming. Should be +1 and blink, or +1 and charge. And there it is, +1 and charge on the way. But overall, a standard follow-up. Meanwhile, SKillous, he wants to reciprocate. Wants to reciprocate that damage, moving out with the Adepts. As we head into that natural base. And that's a lot of Adepts, and we don't have enough Lings. Oh, Wayne has no way to deal with this many Adepts here as we do deny mining at the natural base, shading in towards the main. Oracle coming in from behind, looking for damage done here at the third base. Goes to the stasis trap. Oh, it's gonna finish. Not quite. Doesn't finish in time. Adepts are cleaned up, but we get 4 more drone kills, and this is adding up. 12 in total. This is just slowly adding up over time. Behind this, SKillous not just working towards charge. We have a gateway explosion going towards storm. I just think so. As Lings, they get here just in time. We do have an Adept in position. The boys are being pulled. The Adept does barely go down. But it looks like we will maintain control of our natural. 2 probes do get picked off, but Wayne has to retreat. Ooh, and he's going to Aspire behind this. Okay. Aspire is on the way. Oracle coming in towards that natural, getting a couple of drones. 2 workers go down, but that's a lot of damage dealt. Meanwhile, we did not scout at the main base. We did not get eyes on the Spire. SKillous is in the dark. Despite having the Oracle, he goes for the Revelation, and he will get eyes. He's aware of the potential for Mutas. He sees. He knows. Storm about to finish up. Archons on the way. Archons, High Templar, Storm, Charge Lots. And Phoenix production has commenced. We already had that Stargate, so a great scout so far here from SKillous. And the game is going to be settling down for a moment. Game will settle. SKillous taking another base. Wayne, how hard do we commit? That's the question. He knows he got scouted. He saw the Revelation. It was all over his main. How many mutas? 6 mutas is going to be enough to one-shot workers, to harass. Do we double down? There we go. 7 mutas on the way. Just enough to, again, harass. It's not going to be a big commitment here from Wayne, and it shouldn't be. Just because he got scouted, he has to respect his opponent, respect SKillous' ability to react. Interesting. Okay, we're going 7 mutas into a Hydra den. Okay. Interesting. It's going to be Ling Hydra. Plus on range on the way. I said Ling Hydra. It's going to be Ling Roach Hydra. It's our ground army. SKillous moving out preemptively. Does catch a muta. Doesn't quite get it. Things they take control of the Zonaga. Take control of the Zonaga as Roaches. They do push on forward. We want the High Templar. We're going to get them. 1, 2, 3, 4 High Templar go down. Massive pickups here from Wayne. Gets the Archon as well. SKillous. I mean, he was being so adventurous out here. I was like, what, are we really pushing with a handful of units? And he gets punished for it. Every High Templar goes down. And the mutas, they survive. As they rotate into the main base. Phoenix is in position. Cannon as well. These mutas, they will be shut down. They get a handful of workers here. 4 probes in total. Get 5. Every single muta does fall. But that's okay because it's not about the mutas. Not anymore. They paid for themselves. They traded with High Templar. Now we have Hydras on the way. Hydras are in production. Do bow down the shield battery, the cannon. Hydras are amassing back at home. We're pushing in. Do you have some High Templar though? Do I have a Storm? We do. Storms here on the Roaches. 2 Storms even. We have 2 left. We have 2 Storms remaining as the Hydras rock up. Wayne trying to make a stand here, but the Zealots are just too strong. They barely broke through. There's only a handful of Hydras left. Oh, the High Templar, once again, we overextend. High Templar forced to morph into Archons. And Wayne, he's snowballing out of control. His economy has been left untouched. He's on 85 workers. He's on 5 bases. And we are amassing nothing but Ling, Roach, Hydra. And without High Templar, without Storm, how do we defend? How do we hold? We don't. Skateway going to be going down. We can bust into the 3rd base. We have a handful of Immortals. We have an Archon. We have an Overcharge and a Dream. High Templar coming in, but they need more time. It's going to be 6 High Templar. No Storms are available, but that is enough to force back the army. And we need a couple more seconds. Energy is amassing. Oh! We're about to have one. We are so close. Roaches, they push on forward. They shut down the High Templar one after the other. There's a Storm, but every High Templar goes down. There's one left. No energy remaining. And it looks like Wayne, he has done it. He has broken through. There are 3 Immortals. Now 2 Immortals. Soon to be 1 as we dive into the natural. Up, he wants it. Won't get it. SKillous, can we hold? Can we survive? Can we somehow pull this off? Again, the Immortals doing quite well for themselves, but the Immortal in the natural goes down. We have 1 left here at the 3rd base. Hydras are so fragile, but they barely do get on top of that final Immortal. Overcharge, not going to be good enough. And we have broken the army. As I say that, we have reinforcements. Up! The Zealots from behind. Again, it's just not going to be enough here. 8 workers have fallen. We do get a big warp in, actually. There is potential. There is potential. Good stutter stepping here from Wayne, pulling back those Hydras. Using the Roaches just a tank. And he will not be surrounded. Not here, not now. And GG is going to get called. Wayne, he barely breaks through. And he will be taking a 1-0 lead in the grand finals. GG. GG again. Multiple times here in this game, Wayne, he was barely able to get in and snipe those High Templar before they could really do any damage to the Hydras. There was so much potential for Storm. There were so many Storms available, especially initially, but we never got to see a single Storm on a Hydra, only on Roaches, and they were typically forced out from SKillous. So a very proactive style, very opportunistic style out of Wayne did manage to come out on top. It's so risky though, again, like imagine if he dove in and he didn't get the High Templar, didn't snipe them, didn't force out the Storms, then that's a different story. Different game. Here we go, we're getting into game number 2. Número 2. Here we go. Use my phone for Honkai Star Rail. Proud sponsor of Master Team 7. True. I didn't even know it was a phone game. I know nothing about Honkai Star. Shaking my head. But it's really cool. It's really cool they sponsor StarCraft. As we're getting into game number 2. Again, that was a pretty intense game 1, but on top of that, bringing it back to the map itself, because it's Golden Aura, short rushes is by ground, we were able to see Wayne just gain a lot of momentum and very quickly capitalize on that. Gonna be a little bit harder to pull that off on some of these larger maps. Maps like Alcyone, maps like Razz Station if we get there, and potentially maps like this, Solaris. Solaris is coming up next. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Solaris, we have our red Zerg player leading the series 1-0, representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Wayne. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss, representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. Here we go. As this time, there is no drone across the map, there is no hatch block. SKillous can comfortably get into expansion, comfortably get into the early game. As he gets across the map, he will force the unnatural natural out of Wayne. And as opposed to the previous game. Again, everything is looking a little bit more normal, looking a little bit more sane. There's no crazy hatch block, there's no crazy aggression either. Just gonna be droning, just gonna be easing into this. Just gonna be easing on in. So there we go, hatch gas spool opener here out of Wayne. Likewise across the map, SKillous getting into his own gate expand as well. Now, as we load into Solaris, it's an interesting map. There are a lot of bases to be taken. It is a little bit more spread out, though. A little bit more wide open, where you can be pulled apart. You can find some opportunities when pushing in towards a 5th or 6th base. But overall, on 4 bases, you can fortify yourself quite well with all these ramps, with all of this high ground and points of elevation. There are speed zones, of course. That is something to bear in mind. There are speed zones in the center of the map, and they can actually influence some of these fights and some of these small skirmishes and engagements. That is true. But we'll see what direction our players want to go in. Especially SKillous. I feel like SKillous was initially coming in with a plan in game 1, but very quickly things got out of hand and things got very chaotic and just wasn't able to really have that come to fruition. So show us what you got, as we once again get a Stargate opener. Now, as a reminder, last game we had SKillous going for a Stargate opener into a Void Ray first, into +1 Charge Lot Archon with Storm behind it. Very unique composition from SKillous, very unique opener. I don't think we're going to see that again here in game 2. We may see it again in the series. Again, it's a best of 7, plenty of games ahead of us, but I imagine we should be going into a different direction. SKillous is going to be rocking up across the map, shading in towards the main. We saw that he was able to kill quite a lot of workers in game 1, and once again he takes control of the high ground and oh god, gets eyes on the saturation, gets eyes on the natural, dipping into the mineral line, and will manage to shade out. Just meeting up with the other adept. Of course, 2 adepts do one-shot drones, so this does pose a big threat to Wayne. Behind this, not a Void Ray burst, it's going to be an Oracle burst. So things looking a lot more standard. No Void Ray, not this time. Not this time. As the Overlord dives in, we get a scout off. We do get eyes on the first unit of choice, and the second, we're aware of at least the double Oracle. So a nice scout there from Wayne. He's aware. Adept's going to be shading the hell out of there. And SKillous, he's more concerned with holding on to his third. Remember, last game, because SKillous lost his adepts, he lost his third base as well. Meanwhile, the Oracle does dive in. We get one. We get one drone. Not ideal. A bit of hull damage is dealt. But SKillous going to be able to back off, regenerate their shields, and come back in again. And there's that follow-up. I see a Twilight Council. As we take a third base. Where is the Forge, by the way? Third end of the gateway. We do. Glaive Adepts. This looks and feels like Glaive Adepts. We'll see if we do embrace that or if we go in a different direction. Again, there are some 8 gates blink all-ins with no Forge, for example, no upgrades. Hero does that from time to time, but this should be Glaive Adepts. So very interesting opening. Meanwhile, across the map, the Oracles, they do dive in. They pick up a couple of drones and some Lings. With the death of those Lings, that means that these Adepts are that much more threatening. So we threaten a shade, and we do commit. Oh, not quite. Do cancel. But we're backing up. And here we go. It is not Glaives. It is going to be Blink. Now, this is something that I just mentioned about how we have seen some players like Hero. There's another that comes to mind. Hearthstone. That's it. Hearthstone does this as well. Where he goes into, as the Oracle goes down, where he goes into a Blink and without a Forge. Now, Hearthstone delays his Forge and gets it eventually. Hero doesn't. Hero just doubles down on mass gateway, on mass Stalker production, as we're going all in. We're going all in. We're cutting workers here at 36, and we're just walling across the map, using the speed zones to speed these queens across the map. Now, there is going to be mass Blink Stalker to defend. How many gateways do we have? Only 4 gates, by the way. Not ideal. The queens have been spotted. SKillous, he's aware of the all-in. Forge now on the way. Wayne waddling on forward here. Ravagers are amassing. Lings as well. I'm loving the stasis traps. We can hold. Queen does overextend. Looks like one of the queens may go down. The Biles not quite going to be connected, but that's a lot of Stalkers. Yeah, far too many Stalkers here. We focus down the Ravagers one after the other. Wayne does overextend. Like, with this all in, he just doesn't have enough to break through. Does not have enough. Being forced back, he's droning up back at home. And the Mass Blink Stalker getting a bit out of hand here. And Wayne, he's in a world of hurt. He's falling further and further behind. This wasn't all in. This was designed to break this third base. We didn't even need all these shield batteries. It wasn't even necessary. SKillous had more than enough with all those warp ins. And Wayne is in a lot of trouble. Behind this, he's on 42 workers. He's still redroning, still resaturating. And SKillous, he can push out. Now, his upgrades are delayed because the Forge was delayed, unfortunately. But regardless, it's all on the way. And he still has these Blink Stalkers. He still has map control. We can still push. He's going to be knocked down. We see some of these Ravagers are exposed. We get one. Oh. And yeah, SKillous, he's just looking very comfortable at the moment. He's up in economy. He can take a 4th base from here. He can throw down a Robo, get into Robotic Spade production. We double down on gateways, actually, as we throw down the 2nd Forge. And the Robo now on the way. Oh. So we force a cancel. Force a cancel on the 4th base. We do get a Master round. We force a recall. Stalkers are going to get picked off at the same time Oracles tried to dive in, but we had plenty of Queens in position. Nice little wins here for Wayne as he catches even more Stalkers. It's going to be 9 Stalkers going down in total. Not too bad. Again, Wayne, he needs something like that to go his way. Because he's still only on 47 drones. At this point, we go for a 2nd all-in, right? Like, more Roaches on the way. We're not draining. We're losing workers and we're not resaturating these bases. Which I do agree with. I don't think that Wayne can get into a longer game from this point. I think he's too far behind. So we have to just double down and hope that SKillous is too greedy. There we go. Big Link counterattack setting up for us around. We are setting up for it. We try to cut off these Stalkers, but alas, they do slip away. We don't catch them. Wayne, he bleeds out a lot of units here trying to do so. So many Links just went down. And Wayne, he plummets in supply. He's getting ready for another push. It's all we have left, Papi. It's all we can do. We do catch some of these Stalkers. We do catch some, but again, they do slip away nonetheless. 4th base getting up and running. The longer this goes on, the worse it is for Wayne. Miles going to be zoning back the army. We do get on top of the Cyber Core. But again, we just don't have the numbers. We just don't have enough Lings. The Lings, they've been bleeding out for far too long here. We did snipe the Cyber Core, which means no more Stalkers. But yeah, GG gets called. We run out of steam, and SKillous will tie up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. Again, with the lack of Forge, with the additional warp ins, we did have SKillous with a pretty hefty amount of Stalkers and was perfectly fine against the all-in of Wayne. It did kind of fall on its face, and SKillous had more than enough to deal with it. More than enough, and yeah, with that, from that moment, SKillous was kind of in the driver's seat. Even with Wayne going for a 2nd all-in, just didn't really have any bite to it, really. He was just too far behind at that point, and SKillous had more than enough Stalkers. Very well done. Very well done there by SKillous. And now we get into game number 2. Game number 3. We have it back and forth. We're tied up 1-1. Really, that's all that matters. We are tied up. And who takes the lead? That's the question. Who takes the lead in this series? Where do we go from here? I mentioned before that, again, Wayne is a very aggressive player. Typically, very aggressive here. As we saw, so willing to go for these all-ins. But at the same time, he can play a longer game. He can play standard. He has it in him, I believe. Ooh, as we are loading into Hecate. Okay. A more defendable map here as well. I wonder what direction Wayne will take us in as we load in to Game 3. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hecate, we have a red Zerga player representing Starlight Twinkle being forced into a tied-up series. It is Wayne. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Team Liquid, tying up the series 1-1. It is SKillous. Here we go. Getting into our openers once again, no hatch block out of Wayne. Once again, forcing the unnatural natural here across the map as we do get into our openers. And I do appreciate that we've seen something quite different here from both of our players so far in these two games. Game 1, we had SKillous, again, going into charge, rushing into storm. Game 2, we saw a more interesting opener, prioritizing Blink, of course, delaying upgrades, getting additional warp-ins, and being more than prepared for an all-in. See where we go from here. Are they playing Radicet? I am unprivy to the vetoes. I'm not pretty. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe game 7. It's possible. So both players had one veto each, right? One veto. I imagine the vetoes should be Radicet Station and Equilibrium. Those should have been the two vetoes. But we'll keep our eye out. We'll keep our eye out for Radicet Station. And Equilibrium as well. So we're getting into our gate expand. SKillous getting into his opener. Probing on up. Likewise, Wayne not doing anything too fancy either. Gonna be prioritizing link speed and then pulling out. I was going to say my eyes are going to be on SKillous, but I do have to keep a keen eye on the drone count of Wayne to make sure, if he ever does decide to cut workers and go all in, we're on it. Do need to be on it. From here, once again, we do have our Stargate opener out of SKillous. Yeah, Stargate. Should be Stargated to Oracle, but we'll keep an eye out to see if he does kind of divert into a different path. Does head in a different direction. As the Overlord already takes a lot of damage. Now, with this Stalker first, this also reads like it's going to be Twilight Council, so Wayne is further in the dark here. Usually you wouldn't make a Stalker if you go for a Stargate opener. Oh, as SKillous is being quite adventurous here, moving out across the map, trying to hunt down another Overlord. And are we gonna get it? Queens are waddling in, but this Overlord, it's gonna go down. Overlord does full supply blocking Wayne. We have an Adept to support just to make sure we don't get surrounded. Link speed still a couple of seconds away. And SKillous with a pretty big pickoff, to be honest. That Overlord should not have fallen. I mean, to be fair, this Stalker shouldn't exist. It shouldn't be out there. So, very cheeky move here out of SKillous. Behind this, it's going to be Oracle first. Ooh, and I love the word. Okay. So, a couple of things are happening here. One, I mentioned before, Stalker shouldn't be here with a Stargate opener. And Wayne knows that. He sees the Stalker. He's being fed false information. And that's why we don't move out with the first Oracle. SKillous, he's making it look like a Twilight Council opener instead. Yep, Roach Warren on the way. 4-minute timing. This is too early for a Roach Warren. This shows us that Wayne believes it's not a Stargate. Meanwhile, we're banking up these Oracles. We have 2, and now we move out. SKillous with the mind games, Papi. Let's go. Delaying his Oracles, hiding them, and making it all look like a Twilight Council opener. And now here we go. Spores now being thrown down. Queens, there are 2 in position here at the 3rd base. That's going to be distracting. And the Oracles, they come in from behind. While these Queens are busy and drones are going down. The 1-2 punch. 4 workers. We're going to get 5. We're going to get 6. And we get 7. Just barely not. 6 workers full. You can see this positioning as well. This was positioned for a DT opener. Again, Wayne being completely caught off guard. Link counterattack gets deflected. And SKillous, he's in control. He's in control of this game. 6 workers go down. third base on the way. We do have that Twilight Council with Blink on the way as well, with a delayed Forge. Very similar to the last game. Very similar here. Very similar follow-up, I should say. And with that, Wayne, he's stuck back at home droning. Stuck droning desperately here. Making extra spores. And Wayne forced to invest into all these lings. The Revelation has eyes on this though. SKillous, he knows that he's perfectly safe and sound back at home. These things, they can do nothing. They catch a couple of transferring workers. Not bad. 3 probes. That is something. That is something. But again, still not enough to recover. SKillous still has an economic lead. Something that should not be happening in this matchup as we catch another Overlord. Overlord going to be going down. Oracle, I believe, does get eyes on the 4th. We know what we want. We want that 4th base. Stalkers are pushing out. Blink should finish up just in time for this push. We have an Epsilon on the right-hand side. SKillous going to be applying a lot of pressure. We have Lings in position to deal with the Stalkers, but the Adepts, they do shade in. They shade in towards the natural. Wayne, he does drag away his Lings, which means we can deny this 4th. That's the whole purpose here. The Adepts, they can kill some workers here and there, that's fine, but the purpose of this is to deny that hatchery, and it will be going down. Do force a cancel. We catch another Overlord. Behind this, we're getting into Ling Roach. Team production underway. Behind this, Wayne still just struggling to rebuild. He's stuck on 52 workers compared to the 67 of SKillous. His economy is actually insane right now. And Wayne, he's stuck catching up. Behind the second rover, Robotic Spay on the way for Colossus production. SKillous is looking so comfortable in these 3 bases, and soon to be on 4. Because of the map, because of Hecate, this 4th base is very defendable as well. We have a ramp, we have, again, quite a close proximity here to the rest of the bases. Is quite secure. The Oracles, they're not done. Revelation does get eyes on the would-be Baleen Nest. We're aware of the Ling Bane Roach Ravager. We are aware of the composition. The new 4th base has been spotted by the Observer, and we want it! We want the 4th again. We're so greedy! Stalker's revealed on the right-hand side. Ooh, the entire army is revealed. Wayne knows. He is aware. Getting in position. But just because he knows doesn't mean he can stop this. Link's trying to go for a wraparound. He's coming in from behind, but there are just so many Stalkers. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Yeah, the Oracles are going ham. Stalkers, they stand their ground. We have Blinks. Do pick away. Force back behind the mineral line. Ooh, we're catching a lot of Stalkers, actually. Very nice trade here for Wayne. Cleans up half the Stalkers. But behind this is they get into the mineral line, they get into the main base, 6 drones go down. But Wayne holds onto his 4th. Yeah, that was 15 Stalkers. Oh my god. Really rough trade for SKillous. This round was worth it. Reinforcements are on the way. We clean up the roaches. But that was a good trade for Wayne. If it wasn't for losing all those workers, he'd be in a much better position. But we're evening things up. SKillous getting punished here for being too greedy. Especially after he revealed his army to the Overlord. I think that was just a little bit too much to commit. Behind this, we have 2 Colossi, soon to be 4. 4 Colossi is critical mass. Like, that's kind of what we're looking for before getting into Disruptors or Immortals. Four Colossi is the ideal. Meanwhile, Wayne just focusing on this Ling Bane Roach Ravager. More drones going down. Prism slips into the main. We're in position this time, though. Wayne has got roaches, got queens. But throughout all of his skills, he's still techie. Templar Archives on the way. Storm, Archons. All on the horizon. You could argue that at this moment, on 4-base saturation, we could start thinking about Sky Toss. But SKillous just wants to round out his army, make sure he's safe first before transitioning. Big revelation here on the army. We do get eyes on the Banelings. Well, we should be rotating over. There we go. Colossi making their way towards the left-hand side. They can wait. He has maxed out. The Baneling speed does kick in. We're rolling in towards that mineral line, towards the army. And good connections. We connect here with the Colossus. Overcharge is going to be able to keep this alive just barely, but the Ravagers, they break on through. The Colossi looking so exposed. And SKillous, can he hold? The Colossi, they're going to be going down one after the other. Reinforcements are coming in. SKillous, he barely does push this away. Keeps one Colossus alive. And again, SKillous' lack of Stalkers was really hurting him there from earlier. But we're holding. We are holding on. At the same time, Zell drop into the main. Massive warp in as well. The Queens, they're so close, but they cannot get on top of the Prism. Big warp in. Won't achieve too much. Gets 10 worker kills. SKillous pulling back. Doesn't want to overextend. Catches more Overlords. But SKillous, he needs time. Now, at least the economy was left untouched. You know, we were able to build up our cannons, shield batteries. But Wayne, he's remaxing here. He's going for another big push. And we need more stack defense here at the third. There's 2 shield batteries and 1 cannon. It's not enough. Wayne, he's arrived once again, looking to knock down this base. Archon's exposed. We're out of range of shield batteries. No overcharge. We get a full surround. And Wayne, has he done it? Has he broken through? Yeah, the Immortals on their own, they're being completely swallowed up by the army. And with that, we have broken the third base. Across the map, we're getting damage done. Zelta going ham. But Wayne, he doesn't care. Takes down the economy, takes down the mineral line. He is losing a lot of trades. I will say that. A lot of workers are falling. SKillous microing his heart out. But he loses 20 probes across the map. SKillous, he still maintains a worker lead, by the way. That's how far ahead he was. But it's his army. That's the problem. When it comes to a Protoss composition like this, losing your Colossus and Immortals is brutal. It takes so long to rebuild. We saw this with Night Phoenix. Same thing happened with Night Phoenix, where he'd be building up a death ball of an army and he'd lose his carriers or his Colossus, and it would take so long to rebuild. And by the time he would, Wayne would remax. Wayne would remax in time and knock down the army again. Now, as I say that, the difference here is that Wayne has to drone. Wayne, he's stuck re-droning, resaturating. This will give SKillous the time he needs to build up an army, but is it the army? Is it enough? Fourth base on the way. Quite an exposed fourth, though. Things will be coming in for us around. We do get the Archon. Yeah, big pick off. Archon goes down. We're getting into disruptors of all things. It's gonna be okay. Personally, I think I would have preferred a couple of Colossus first. Colossi, they have their place. But I'm sure the goal is to get there. Is to get into both. Zelt's coming in, going to be harassing. We get another handful of drones. Again, based on just how much Ling Bane there is, disruptors won't really help too much against this. Archons will. Oh, good blinks. Oh, as we get into the middle line, 19 probes go down. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. Not like this, Swappy. Suddenly, the economic advantage that SKillous had isn't there anymore. It's not there. Not anymore. Good pickups from SKillous. Does get some of those lings. Doing another big warp in here into that natural. Once again, Wayne, he has maxed out. He wants to fight. He wants to push in. Can we line up that Nova? Can we connect? Baiting run by towards the natural. Drone's gonna be going down here as the would be fourth. And we break in. At least they do bust in. Nova's going to be going off and we will connect. Big connections. But we do pose the distance. We get on top of the disruptors. Wayne collapsing on this army. At the same time, though, he's going to be losing everything across the map. The Zealots are getting out of hand. The Zealots are getting out of control here. Lings in the main base, they do get cleaned up. And these Zealots, they've killed 30 drones across the map. No shot. That one War Prism. The MVP here, 31 drones. And just like that, Wayne, his economy is in shambles. He has almost nothing left. He has an army, but it's not enough. Not enough, not anymore. He's still stuck on Lingbane Roach Ravager. Meanwhile, the immortal count has been kept alive, has been preserved. Has been preserved at this point. The Nexus on the way. And SKillous, he's up 30 supply. How many disruptors? 2. Not too many, but enough. But it's not about the disruptors, it's about the Archons, the Immortals. It's about everything else. Wayne trying to rebuild his army here with what little he has left. Oh. Going for another run by. He's just trying to buy time, trying to force back the army. SKillous is about to remax though. Big stage trap does go off. Show us the Nova. Show it to us, man. Counterattack. Oh, doesn't get in. That was close. The Immortals were almost caught out. And here we go. That prism does come in once again. Has been remade. Zealous get into the mineral line. There it goes up. Decent connection. It's okay. Grazes the army. The Zealot crash just does not end. Does not stop. You dive on top of these Archons. Lingbane is going to be running out though. Without the Lingbane, what do we have to protect these roaches? Nothing. Nothing to protect them. The Immortals, they go ham. Big Zealot warp in here into the mineral line. More drones going down. Wayne is being pulled apart. He's being pulled apart here. He cannot hold on to his base. He's trying. There are so many Immortals. Nova does connect. 17 workers go down. The boys, they have to be pulled. It's all we have left. The boys are being pulled. Immortals going ham. GG gets called, and SKillous will take game number 3. GG. That was an intense game. That was very back and forth. There were moments for both players where Wayne was breaking the third base, getting on top of those Colossi after SKillous had overextended. Before that, SKillous was playing beautifully. Remember when he was denying the bases, when he had initially hidden his opener and hidden his tech, and kind of lured Wayne into a false sense of security, able to just catch him off guard. There was a lot of back and forth there in that. But in the end, SKillous, his Zealot counterattacks were crazy. I had kind of dismissed them a little bit, just because Wayne, for the most part, was keeping up. He had roaches, queens, lings in position, typically, but all it took was one moment where Wayne was hyper-fixated on his push, and he had foregone his defenses back at home. GG. GG, well played. With that, SKillous takes a lead in this series. Still a best of 7 though, still plenty of games to come. As game 4, it's going to be on Alkione. Oh, wait, hold on, my apologies. Wait, what? Hold on, the UI is a little bit broken. There we go. For some reason, it had Wayne on the left-hand side instead of SKillous. My apologies, my apologies. There we go. All good. So yeah, SKillous, he is up in this series. Wayne looking to tie it up again. Once again. Go. Aye, aye, aye. So I was just catching up on Discord. But yeah, we're just getting ready here for our first game. Again, pretty back and forth overall, very intense game there as well. But our next game is going to be on Alkyone, much larger map in the map pool, very much so macro oriented. If we were to get a late game, which we haven't really had yet, like games have been going long, that's true, but we've been stuck with these mid-tier armies with Ground Toss up against Lingbane Roach Ravager. We haven't seen anyone embrace Sky Toss yet, or Hydra Lurker Viper. We haven't really gone into a split map scenario in this series. Alkyone would be a good map for that, if we wanted that. That's the thing. Like Wayne, he doesn't really enjoy that kind of style, that kind of late game situation. If he can end it early, he will. He will. We are setting things up. So I'm just catching up with the chat. Catching up. He was here for like 8 years. True. True. Smurge. Where have you been all my life? I've been casting, Poppy. I've been casting. When did we start casting? 2017? How long has that been? 7 years, mate. To be fair, late 2017 we started casting. Almost 7 years. Crazy. Crazy. It's been so long. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're just waiting for Wayne to get ready. Waiting for him to set up. We are loading on it. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alkyone, we have our blue Protoss player representing Team Liquid, leading the series 2-1. It is SKillous. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. Down in the series, we're going to tie things up. It is Wayne. Here we go. Here we go. SKillous coming out with his Probe Scout. Wayne going for a very early hatchery here. Going for a 14 hatch. Oh my god. Dark, is that you? Just now going for the extractor trick. So it's going to be a 14 hatch into a 15 spawning pool. Very interesting. For those that are curious, when Eric kind of brought attention to the 1515 last year before that, when he brought attention to the 1515, of course everyone was embracing it, but the Koreans, they actually didn't. They were actually looking more over at 14 hatch timings instead. So players like Solar, Dark, they were actually playing around with that, and that's kind of what we saw here. It's an alternate way to get your hatchery up on time, get your hatchery up on location without being disrupted. So, interesting that we see that here from Wayne. Does mean that he will not be forced to take the unnatural. Natural will have a much more comfortable time here in the early game. Much more comfortable opener. SKillous behind this, going to be getting into his own gate expand into the cybercore, into a standard opener. Again, talking about the map itself, there are some features of it that are interesting, like the goal bases. You can try to rush into this early on as a natural or as a third base, but it's a very risky thing to do. Meanwhile, when it comes to the other bases here on this map, they're quite defendable. Long rushes to spike ground. We have the Zonaga here that's covering the main attack path, so it's very easy to scout pushes ahead of time if you have map control. And likewise, these bases are very well fortified. We have ramps, we have points of elevation. We can, of course, expand over towards the right-hand side as well to take a fourth. And as a result, we have seen a lot of late game here, a lot of 30-plus minute games on Alkyone. Will that be the case? Will that be the case here? We'll see. We shall see. So we have our Stargate on the way. Once again, Stargate opener added SKillous. He hasn't really diverted too much from this. That Stargate opener. This time there's no Stalker. There's no like crazy kind of mind game here in the early game like we saw in the previous game. Things looking a little more normal. A little more standard. Here we go, our Adepts have arrived. 2 Adepts do want your workers. We can, of course, threaten the mineral line. Oracle is on the way behind this. We have our unit of choice. Not going Void Ray, not here. I mean, honestly, this wouldn't be a bad map to rush into Skytoss. We've seen Classic have success with it here on Alkione. We've seen Hero do it as well. But I don't know if that's really the kind of style that SKillous enjoys. Well, as he is going to be caught out. It's a good surround here by Wayne. The Adepts barely to escape, but we will shut them down. 2 drones fall, but only 2 workers. Oh, we get a 3rd. We get a 4th. As the Oracle comes in from the right-hand side, picking up a couple of extra workers as well. 5 drones for 2 Adepts. A decent trade. As we continue Oracle production. And we get our 3rd. Wayne just doesn't really have much of a presence here. As we catch even more workers at the 3rd. No dead workers though, quite a lot of hull damage. SKillous overextending a little bit there. Meanwhile, as the Oracles are across the map, Lings, they do go for a big counterattack. But the 3rd Oracle arrives just in time to defend the wall. But the wall is not a wall. The Lings, they flood into the mineral line, into the main base. We get a full scout of the main as well. We confirm the Twilight Council and the Forges follow up. Should be +1 and Blink. Big scout from Wayne. Does confirm everything that's coming. And he should be feeling safe to drone. Should be feeling safe to just saturate our bases, get a 4th, and work towards Roaches. Roach Warren is on the way. Oracle, they rotate around. Wayne in position. Overall, he's done a good job at keeping up with the Oracle movement. So far. There are upgrades, as we mentioned, +1 and Blink. Not going to charge this time. And we should be getting into a more back and forth. The 4th, speaking of, is a bit delayed. Just now on the way. Interesting that Wayne has opted to go for the 4th on the right-hand side. And, oh, because it's so late, we could force a cancel. The Oracles, they're going ham, but the Queens, they get here just in time. The Oracles will not get a cancel on that 4th base. The game is going to settle from here. We're going to be stabilizing. Both players are going to be probing on up. SKillous has a pretty solid worker count here on 3 bases. Working his own 4th. Again, this 4th of Wayne was delayed. I kind of want him to double expand just to make up for it. Ooh, as we are rushing into an infestation pit. Interesting. With the fast pit, we can go into a fast hive. And we can rush into Adrenal. That is true. We can, of course, get really fast Vipers as well, but I'm curious what kind of direction Wayne is wanting to go for. As the Stalkers, they do arrive very quickly here. Blink is done. What's the Queen? Does want the Queen. Gonna be forced back. Stasis Trap's on the way. SKillous applying a lot of pressure really early on here. Wayne not quite ready for it. And there it is. Hive is on the way alongside the Hydrogen. Looks like we want to rush into Hydro Lurker Viper. Okay. Lurker Tech is on the horizon. Wayne just has to survive. Just has to live. As he's getting his 4th base up and running, still droning. SKillous still has a worker lead, which is pretty crazy. 4th base on the way. And as he's dancing with these units, the stasis, massive stasis trap goes off. The Ravager is exposed. We can dive on this. We can dive, and it barely will survive. I was concerned. But we're getting to Storm. We're getting to Storm. Phoenix is on the way. Interesting choice. We are going to be amassing Phoenixes. Revelation doesn't see much here at the natural. Doesn't see too much as we go further into the main, and here we scatter everything. We see the tech, we confirm the Hive, the Hydrogen, and the Infestation Pits. We don't see the lurker den, but we can assume. We can assume it's on the way. And immediately, Sky Toss. Here we go. This is what we expected on Alcyone. We spoke about how this map is known for its split map play, for its late game. That's what we're getting. Hydra Lurker Viper versus Sky Toss. Now, we're not there yet. But SKillous, he's backing off. For the most part, he's chilling back at home. He does have storms. But won't be too proactive with this army. He knows he can't be. I mean, for all he knows, lurkers could already be out. He has to be very careful with this movement. Banning out a couple of units. Wayne taking the gold. I do think that Wayne's saturation was delayed and his expanding has been delayed, but overall he's getting to lurkers. That's what's important. We've gotten here. Viper soon to be on the way. And show us that Sky Toss. Did we make the Phoenix? We did. A handful of Phoenixes patrolling. Carriers are in production. So again, so important here that SKillous was able to confirm what was happening. Oh. Mortal, oh, sorry, Lurker almost overextending. Mortal going ham. Good feedbacks, oh my god! Very nice feedbacks here, good storm as well in the lanes. SKillous, he does trade well. So we come to overextend. At the same time, we have a big hand attack on the right-hand side, but the station draft catches more lurkers. More lurkers get caught out, and SKillous does pull back. Does pull back home. Protection is required. And we should be able to clean up all of these lurkers. It's going to be a brutal loss here for Wayne. At the same time, he's pushing towards the left-hand side. He's trying to pull SKillous out of position. Links towards the natural, but carriers are on the way. And they're soon to be revealed as Wayne, he's setting everything here in between the bases. Lurkers are going down, and this feels very messy here. It's going to be a really rough trade for Wayne. Does pull back, leading out a lot of roaches. Hydras are amassing, but the carriers, they have arrived. Oh, the High Templar. They were caught out. And we will catch these Immortals. Immortals will go down, but we trade so many lurkers for this. Wayne does have a supply lead, but yeah, I don't think this is ideal. We do have to retreat. In the end, Wayne, he lost 7 lurkers for 2 Immortals. Not a good trade. But he's still not slowing down. He wants to keep pushing. He wants to keep on going. But the longer this goes on, the more carriers are going to be arriving. The storms! And we connect here with so many lings. Oh my god. The lings go down. Do yoink one of the carriers. Barely bring it down as well. Once again, Storm's going to be going off. The High Templar did go down to the spines though. Big lurker shots here on those High Templar. But all we need is one more Storm, and we do connect. Yeah, Lurker's going to be going down. The Hydra's thereafter as well. Is it going to be enough? Is it enough? It barely is. We clean up the Hydras. We clean up the army. Wayne is remaxing. That is true. And this is kind of working. Like, he's trying to barely break through these defenses, and he is. Yeah, Archons are falling. Immortals as well. Wayne trying to force the issue. He's so close to breaking through, so close to breaking the back of SKillous. The Abduct gets a carrier. Gets another carrier. This is getting very scrappy here. We lift up one of those lurkers. SKillous, he has momentum. Doesn't keep pushing though. Calm down. Calm down, man. SKillous gonna be pulling back, rebuilding his carriers. Now, the thing that I'm most concerned about here is that Wayne doesn't really have much more longevity here. Like, he's got a decent economy. That's true. He's got +3 range on the way, but there's no Spire. There's no Spire whatsoever. We're still committed to Hydra Lurker Viper. And we bled out a lot of units here in the process. brain is falling apart. I'm trying to keep up, man. I'm trying to keep up. Here we go. We're pushing in. The High Templar have been morphed in. We have some storms. We have storms available. Wayne, he's so committed here. Now throwing down the Spire. Big storm here on the Hydras. And it just feels like Wayne is being outscaled. Again, Spire is on the way. Eventually a greater Spire. This still feels late, though. As Wayne is rotating around. And this carrier count, it's only getting higher and higher. SKillous still very comfortable here back at home on these 5 bases. His army is split. Viper's coming in. Once again, Wayne going so deep here in between the bases. He's going right into the Nash. Oh my god. And he's so prone to being surrounded. High Templar from both angles. Massive storms here on the Hydras. And the Lurkers as well. And Wayne, he's being completely surrounded, being completely pulled apart. Every Lurker falls. Like, Wayne, he's just been so aggressive here, and it's not been it, Bobby. It's not been it. And Wayne is still stuck on Pure Hydra. The Spire is done, but again, we don't have any upgrades, no Greater Spire either. We can't really afford to transition into Broodlords, into Corruptors. It's not happening. Here we go. The Skytools with Immortals to support are pushing in. Plenty of storms available as well. As SKillous is being forced back. Stellar run by on the right hand side. GG gets called. Wayne, he runs out of steam. He knows that the writing is on the wall. And SKillous will take a further lead in this series. Getting to match point. GG. GG, well played. Again, Wayne was pretty all in, essentially. I was talking about how, like, there's no transition and there's nothing else behind it. Essentially, he was all in. It was all or nothing for Wayne. That's why he was diving so hard in between the bases. And why, when it failed, there was nothing left. And SKillous suddenly had control of the game. I appreciate the aggressive nature of Wayne there, and his ability to get into the Lurkers initially. But the big moment in this game was SKillous scouting. Was him scouting that Hive, scouting the Lurker and scouting the Hydra as well. He was so quick to transition into Skytoss, and there was never a really good answer for it. There was never really a good answer for that Skytoss, and Wayne was just all in. He was committed. And the longer it went on, the worse it became for our Zerg player. And with that, SKillous is 1 game away from becoming our Christmas Cup champion. Uramas, papi, uramas. That's all he needs. And Wayne needs to win every game moving forward to force the ace match. It's not going to be easy. Not going to be easy here for Wayne. SKillous just needs 1 more. Yet he came in as the favorite player here, and I mean, he's showing why he's one of the best Protosses in Europe. He's up there. He's up there along the likes of Max Pax and Showtime. He is one of the best that Europe has to offer. Wayne is up there as well, but has been struggling here. And we spoke about it where Wayne, he doesn't really thrive too well in the late game. He thrives in the mid game. You know, that's where he can be aggressive. He can pull you apart. He can be in your face. Not a Nakiane. The map even working against him. But now we're going to be spawning into a smaller map. Into Hardlead. A map known for all-ins. Let's go. Let us go. As a spawning in, oh god, in the bottom top left hand corner of Hardlead, we have our red Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. He's up against the wall. He's in a rough position here. He has to fight back here and now to try to force an ace match. It is Wayne. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Team Liquid. 1 more game is all he needs to become our champion. It is SKillous. Uno Mas is all he needs. Let's go. As SKillous, he gets across the map, forcing the unnatural natural. Now, talking a little bit about the map itself, we're loading into Hardlead. Shortest rush distance map in the map pool. If you wanted to be aggressive, if you wanted to go all in, this is the map to do it on. But Wayne has already tried He's already tried and failed previously in this series. He may be deterred. He may try to go for a longer game. What is he... Yeah, what's the plan here? How do we approach this? Again, we've seen many a Zerg players like Dark, even Cyril, even Raynor, go for these big queen pushes. Wayne has opted to go for the linear third base. Our first sign of more passivity here. Typically, if we wanted to be aggressive, the triangular third is used to kind of spread creep and launch creep across the map very quickly. We can knock down these rocks, reduce the rush distance by ground even further, and push in towards the bases of Protoss. But that is not the case here. Again, a much more defensive base has been taken instead. SKillous back at home, going for a gate expand, standard opener. Every game so far he's gone for a Stargate opener, and yeah, based on this pylon placement, should be a Stargate once again. Should be a Stargate. Oh my god, where has the time gone? It's 5 a.m. Oh my god. I was giving myself a hard time because I was like misspeaking a little bit in that last series, in that last game. I was a little bit frazzled. And I look at the time, it's 5 goddamn a.m. in the morning. Okay, that makes sense. Aye. It's okay, we can keep going. Can keep going. As it is going to be a Stargate opener. Again, based on the pylon placement, you can throw down that Stargate a little bit closer to the edge of the map just so you can reduce the time it takes for the Oracle to get across the map and get work or damage done. Should be an Oracle opener out of SKillous. Likewise, Wayne, still in the dark, going to be dipping in with the Overlord, trying to get a read on what exactly is going on. Should be... Oh my god, never mind! We had an Oracle on the way, but SKillous, Pappy, changes his mind, going for a Void Ray. It's going to be a Void Ray opener instead. SKillous, he wants to end this with some style here. With the death of this Overlord, we can throw down whatever tech we want, and it will be hidden, it will not be seen, it will not be scouted. Or at least it shouldn't. Now, this could just be a standard opener. Could lead into an Oracle, into a third base, into a Forge and Twilight Council, or we can go for an all-in, or something more aggressive. Overlord goes down. Oracle on the way behind this. Setting up for a third base. And Wayne is in the dark. Now, typically, once the Void Ray reveals itself, one, we have to bring back all the Overlords. Overlords are floating back home. Queens are amassing. And we do need to prepare a Roach Warren a little bit earlier. Why? Oh, as we throw down the Evo Chamber. Because we don't know if there's Glaive Adepts. There could be Adepts on the way, or there could not. We don't know. So typically it's risky to delay the Roach Warren even further. I'm speaking around a 4-minute 30 Roach Warren timing. We'll see. Oh, as we're rushing into Sky, oh my god! And this is something you can do with a Void Ray opener because the Zerg player has no idea what's going on. We have a Fleet Beacon. We are rushing into either Carriers or Tempest. Oh boy. And again, it's on Wayne to figure this out. He has +1 melee on the way. Oracle coming in. He has opted not to throw down the Roach Warren, which is a good thing for him. It could be Glaive Adepts and it could kill him, but he is gambling a little bit here, assuming that his opponent is playing standard. Yeah, Baneling that's going to be on the way instead. It's going to be Ling Bane here from Wayne. Now, on the one hand, at least he doesn't waste resources making a Roach Warren. That is true. But on the other hand, he still is in the dark, still doesn't know what's going on, and how long will it take? Because we are rushing into Tempest. We have Tectonic Destabilizers on the way. I know that name. Let's go. It is in production. I think one of the only upgrade names I don't know is, I used to know it. Ultra Speed? I had no idea. I was told it. And I remember hearing it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to remember that. Ultra Speed and the other one. The Medevac upgrade. The new Medevac upgrade. Regardless, Bailey's being set up. They do get scouted by the Overlord. Likewise, at the same time, Oracle gets into the main. Revelation does get eyes on the lair timing as well as that Evo Chamber. Now, because this lair is so late, no Overseer Scout. It is not available. It is not there. As Lings are racing across the map, and they're going to run into a wall of Adepts. And we have Adepts shield battery still on the way, but the Oracle will force this back, and the Lings, they find no damage. We have so many Lings here, and these Lings, they could have been drones. That's the thing here. They could have been workers, and they achieved nothing across the map. Tempests have arrived, yet to be revealed until now. There we go. The Tempests, they reveal themselves to the Lings. I think this is a bit premature. I don't think we needed to, but Spire immediately on the way. Spire is in production for those Corruptors. And SKillous, he is pushing across the map. Oh my god. We're rushing out with our Tempest. What's interesting is that behind this, we're getting into a Twilight Council. Looks like we're going into Ground Toss. +1 is on the way, Twilight Council as well. It looks like potentially SKillous wants to force an overreaction. At the Tempest, they have arrived. Here we go. Knocking down that hatchery. At the same time, Lings, they try to come in, but they are forced back. Queens, they do a little bit of hull damage, but not much. And again, behind this, we have more gateways on the way. This should be a Ground Toss transition. Show us the blink. Show us back. As Lings, they're getting more value. They do surround these Zealots and Adepts. They do trade somewhat here. So Templar Archives is on the way. Should be Charge-Lots and Archons, and there it is. Charge in production. So the goal here is that SKillous, he's hoping that he forces an overreaction. He wants too many Corruptors to be made. That is the goal. Meanwhile, Ling's going for a big counterattack. They do catch a Pylon. They catch a Zealot. Where is the army, by the way? As we do get on top of the shield battery, overcharge is popped, and we are getting into the mineral line. Probes are going down. Good hold position micro here by Wayne. At the same time, across the map, the Tempests are going ham here on the base. They're going straight for the hatchery. Corruptors coming out just in time. The hatchery will go down. And we force a recall. We get one. Up. We get two. Two Tempest. Which is good damage, don't get me wrong. But how many Corruptors do we have? We have 9, soon to be 15 Corruptors. And where is our ground army? There is no ground army. And we're getting into Archons, Papi. Archons and Charge-Lots are on the way. Yeah, they do arrive just in time. We're now going to be getting into Roach production. What are our upgrades looking like? We have Roach speed, but no +1 range. We have no ground upgrades. As the Corruptors are being forced back. And again, we're done with Skytoss. We're not making any more Void Rays, no more Carriers, no more Tempests. It's all about the Charge-Lot Archon. And these Corruptors, that was a big investment. A lot of money was spent here on these Corruptors, and it's not really going to help. Not against this. Wayne trending up to 74. Looking for more damage. Looking for another way in. Zealots, they do come across this space, and they will force a cancel. Up. Up. Just in time. Even a couple of drone kills as well. Behind this, Blink is on the way, +2. Fully saturated on 4 bases. SKillous, he has the better economy. He's up 10 workers compared to Wayne. Meanwhile, can we deny Storm? Oh my god, we will! Storm is going to be denied. Big pick off there from Wayne. Very nicely done. And this is how we gain value with these Corruptors. Sniping Storm is pretty huge. And now SKillous has no splash damage. I mean, sure, he's got a couple of Archons, but Archons aren't Storm. Behind this, Wayne trying to get his 5th. His 5th is very late. I wouldn't be opposed to double expanding, just to catch up, just to be able to keep up with the economy of our opponent. Wayne, he is up in supply, that is true, but be careful when it comes to that, just because Wayne's supply is inflated. One, Roaches are very supply inefficient, so they are inflated supply. Likewise, Corruptors, once they kill the Tempest, they're not really helping or adding anything when it comes to big army engagements. So they are somewhat dead supply. I say somewhat because they can snipe buildings, which is true, and they can of course kill the Tempest. Oh, speaking of, as Wayne is coming in with everything he has, he is maxed out. He's going straight for that center base, forcing a cancel. SKillous not quite ready for this, and again with Storm he could fight this. Without it, can he deal with this army? Overcharge is popped. Roaches, they try to go in for a bit of a counterattack. As Wayne is forced back. SKillous just needs a little bit more time. And again, sure, Wayne, he's maxed out, but Again, his army is 16 roaches, a couple of ravagers, 14 corruptors, which is a big part of that supply. This 200 supply army, it's not like the others. The soup, it does lie. Soup, sometimes it does lie here. As roaches is getting picked up. There was a time here where Wayne, he was up like 60 supply, and again, it didn't even matter. As SKillous is catching up. We have a field of stasis traps. Maxing out here with Archons, charge lots. We have Storm, we have Blink, we have +2. And we're going in. Oh, massive stasis trap here on the army. The Ravagers, they get caught out. They get caught and there is no escape. They are going to be shut down. Wayne peeling off his army, trying to find another way in, trying to distract the forces here of SKillous. He does get caught. The Ravagers, they will escape. Just barely. Let's go. They will manage to waddle away. Behind this, we're working towards Hive Tech. We have an Ultra Cavern. We have Adrenal on the way as well. We are refining our army. And as the game goes on longer, now SKillous can invest into his Sky Toss. +1 air attack on the way. Carriers, they're an option. They are now an option. So the game is going to be stabilizing from here. We can see SKillous building up a bank, refining his army, working on more upgrades. I'm sure he wants to trade though. I'm sure he wouldn't be opposed to investing into something like more carriers. So he's going to be pushing on the right hand side. Likewise an army towards the left. So far Wayne, he's keeping up. He is keeping up, has plenty of stack defense here at these fringe bases. Prism does get into the main. Do get a bit of a Zealot warp in. Drones are going down, and we are committing. We have an army pushing towards the 4th, or the 5th. PvZ crash into Stalkers, and you don't want to see that ever. PvZ barely touched those Stalkers. At the same time, we push towards the center. Hatchery is going to go down, and Wayne, he's being pulled apart. We lose the center hatchery. We might lose this 5th base as well. The Corruptors, they dive on top of the Tempest, but there's nothing else they can do. The Corruptors, they are dead supply, and SKillous, he's pushing in. He gets 18 worker kills here in the main base. Almost gets a kill in the Ultra Cavern. Oh my god. And SKillous, he's not done. As the 5th base is going to barely stand strong. SKillous might be overextending. We do have reinforcements on the way. The High Templar are exposed. They are so exposed here. Another High Templar goes down. SKillous, we need to get out of here. The Ultras are coming out. Good storms, but it's a one-way trip. It is a suicide mission here as every single Archon going to be falling. SKillous overextending. But doesn't matter. Because we have 3 Stalkers and they kill a base. Base goes down, Prism in the main. We get another big weapon of Zealots. And we are remaxing here on what though? Stalkers, we have Immortals, big weapon of High Templar. Wayne does have momentum. He just cleaned up the army. Did just clean up the army here. File's going to be connecting. We bring down some of the stack defense. We need more time. What happened to the Corruptors, by the way? We pick up an Archon. They're dead. Okay. Well, this is the moment. The Corruptor count has been reset. We have 3 Corruptors remaining out of 15. And suddenly, again, Sky Toss, it's looking appealing. We can get into Carriers, into Tempest, into Void Rays. I'm loving this Void Ray transition. There is very limited anti-air. Again, mainly Ultras and Roaches. This base is going to be denied. SKillous stuck remaxing though. Still stuck with a ground toss army. The problem here is that Wayne has been losing far too many bases. He lost the center base, lost the 5th. And he hasn't been replacing them. He doesn't have an economy. He's down to 58 workers. Wayne, he's running out of resources, running out of money at this point. Needs another base. Speaking of another base, he does catch an execute towards the left-hand side. Do force a recall. Mortals are recalled. At the same time, Wayne pushing on the right-hand side with his Mass Ultra. Kindness plating is done. but we have Void Rays. We have Void Rays, and what shoots up? Vials, I guess? We have those 3 Corruptors. And more Corruptors are on the way, but the Void Rays, they can just chase this down. There's no reason not to. Towards the left, it looks like this massive Link counter-attack is going to bring down this base. Recall is on cooldown, and SKillous, he has to commit. Does have to commit. Massive storms! Oh my god. Massive storms here on the Ultras. The base does fall. 5 probes as well. Not too much economic damage done. But this is what's important. We deny the 5th again, containing Wayne to 4 bases, and we are running out of resources. We're running out of mineral patches. SKillous is maxed out. Wayne cannot. He's trying to. Do we have Neural? We do. The Neural! Let's go! Neural here on the Archons. We're trying to blink off. We're trying to focus on as many of these infections as we can. But Wayne, he's taking a fight. Just barely isn't, as we're running out of Neural. Ay. The Immortals, they go ham. They force their way through the Ravagers, and there's nothing left here. Wayne running out of money, running out of army. 1 Ultra remaining. And SKillous, he has done it. He has broken through. GG, congratulations! And SKillous will take the series 4-1, becoming our Christmas Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to SKillous here in style as well. Here, even in the ace match, in the final game, going for Stargate into Void Ray, into Tempest Rush, and then transitioning out of it. Remember, it was only 4 Tempests. He made 4 Tempests, then bam, into Ground Toss instead, and did force Wayne to overcommit. He made 15 plus Corruptors, and they were kind of useless. They weren't really helping too much, even with Wayne having a maxed out army. Again, it wasn't an ideal army. It was a little bit all over the place, and SKillous was able to trade more efficiently, able to expand, of course, deny bases, and pull Wayne apart left and right. GG. GG, well played. An impressive series here out of SKillous, and deserving to be our champion. Did, of course, bleed a little bit here. You know, Wayne made him work for it. It did take a map and almost took a couple more. There were some very scrappy games here in this series. Likewise, earlier, Nickrat also was able to force the series out of SKillous as well. So I do appreciate that throughout the course of this entire tournament, even in the group stage, SKillous was dropping maps. SKillous was not untouchable, but still the strongest player in this tournament. Still make his way through. Just double checking, and yeah, even in the group stage, he dropped maps to Gref, he dropped maps to Young Yakov. He dropped maps to even Nickrat as well. GG. I just appreciate that, again, it just goes to show that all these players are pretty comparable and competitive with each other. But congratulations nonetheless. GG. GG, well played. It's been a month in the making. This event started back in December of last year. That's why it's a Christmas Cup. It started December 16th, and we've been hosting events for Bronze players, Diamond players, Masters, Platinum as well. Events were held for some of the lower leagues before getting into the GM level, the GM portion of the tournament with all the pro players, and it was great. It's beautiful. It was amazing. Great to see Europe kind of come together for this, and yeah, I really do appreciate it. GG, well played. A great turnout here, a great tournament, and hope everyone in the chat enjoyed themselves. I do apologize, especially in Game 4. I think it was Game 4. I was kind of losing my train of thought a little bit too much. I'm tired, Papi. I'm tired. How long has our cast been going for? This broadcast was 3.5 hours. Before this, we had a 5-hour cast right before it. We were going over the round of 8 of the Christmas Cup, and then before that, we had ESL Cup Americas. So I think 8.5 hours. 8.5 hours straight of casting. 2 days in a row. Yesterday we casted 9 hours in a row. Jesus. Yesterday we had a 9-hour cast. Today an 8.5 hour cast. And we made it. We survived. We're done. I'm gonna go get some food and go to bed. It's 5 a.m. here in Australia. We're done for the night. Thank you. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for supporting us. If you want some more StarCraft action, if you want some more casting here on the CranKy Ducklings, we're gonna be live in less than 24 hours. Let us double check. We're going to be live tomorrow with ESL Open Cup Asia. It's going to be a live cast of ESL Open Cup Asia. So if you want some Korean StarCraft action, we got you covered in, let me just double check, 14 hours time. 14, that's enough to sleep. Yeah, we'll be okay. 14 hours time. That's enough to get some food, get some rest, and do it all over again. So tomorrow is going to be ESL Open Cup Asia, followed by Masters Coliseum. The final round, round 5 of the group stage of Masters Coliseum is going to be tomorrow. Now, unfortunately, Masters Coliseum and ESL Open Cup Asia, they're going to be overlapping. They're going to be overlapping and they're going to be clashing with each other schedules-wise. We will most likely be focusing on finishing ESL Asia, and then after that, we'll go into the Masters Coliseum. And we'll start from the beginning. So, yeah, that's our plan for tomorrow. Back-to-back 2 broadcasts tomorrow. We had 3 broadcasts today. We had 3 broadcasts yesterday. Wow. What hunch. I also have some viewer replays that were submitted to cast. I have to get around to that. I was gonna do it today, but I'm not gonna keep going. we're done. We're done. Maybe during the week. We'll find some time to go over some of the viewer replay casts. So we got you covered. Also, a big shout out to okay, how do you pronounce this? Noi 00000. There we go. Noi 000. Thank you so much for gifting a sub to Jeremy SC2. Gracias, Papi, gracias. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the sub as well. If you're a subscriber, you can of course gain replay packs in our Discord server, so you can join our Discord. You also gain access to our emotes as well. So thank you so much for the support. Again, if you want to support us here on the channel, you can subscribe. We have a Patreon. The Patreon, you can see it towards the bottom right. Our goal is almost met for our Patreon, where we do host our events. Basically, the money that we don't make on Patreon for our tournaments, we make up for via Twitch. We do use our Twitch money to pay for our events, so you can check us out there on Patreon if you're interested. If you want to support some of these more community-funded events, we got you covered. Otherwise, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. We're also co-streaming on YouTube as well. So if you maybe prefer to watch on YouTube, then you can do so there. Likewise, VODs are instantly available on YouTube on our own channel. So if you missed out on some games, we got you covered. We do have you covered there. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Otherwise, yeah, thank you to everyone for dropping by. Do appreciate it. Lloyd is a refreshing member of my living room. His booming voice fills my family with joy and love. Yeah, I appreciate it. You're welcome, Papi. You're welcome. Hope you enjoy. Shaking my head. Just catching up. Thanks. Oh, Gen update, man. Gen update. Hope you all did enjoy, and yeah, I guess we'll see you guys next year for the next Christmas Cup. There you go. Christmas Cup is hopefully going to be coming back next year as well, and hopefully even better, even bigger as well. When it comes to our next events, as I mentioned, ESL Open Cup Asia is tomorrow, and Master Coliseum starts back up tomorrow as well. Every single day in this week has Master Coliseum. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way to Sunday, to the grand finals. Also, if you happen to be native to Poland, I know there are a couple of Polish viewers in the chat, there is a Polish LAN on Saturday. There's going to be the House Galactic Battle, I believe, in Warsaw. There's a internet cafe, or there's a gaming bar in Warsaw, and there's a big event going on there that is offline, and be a part of it. We're going to be casting. I won't be there live, unfortunately, but we're going to be casting it here in English, so plenty of content available here on the CranKy Ducklings. That's going to be a full day event as well. That's going to be like a 12-hour broadcast. That's usually how LAN events are. So we'll do our best. We'll do our best to stay sane, stay healthy, and stay alive. Otherwise, thank you so much. We're going to be heading off for the night. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Don't know who, but we'll find someone to send our love to. Find someone to support. So give them a chance. Give them a chance. Stick around and give them some support. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow in 14 hours for ESL Open Cup Asia. Until then, thanks so much for watching. Hasta luego. Also, a big shout out to Hatsu. Big shout out to Hatsu, Nicorrect, and Bratok. Those are the 3 organizers. The 3 organizers for this event, for making this event a reality. So big shout out. Both Hatsu, I mean all three of them, I think they were all casting in Russian, and Hatsu and Bratok were live on their own respective channels. So much love. Much love. Less than 3. Until then, we'll see you guys tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.